Well, continuing with this look into the lady in the fridge, did some more looking into this and pulled up some pretty interesting stuff here. First of all, check this out. After everything I explained in the very first cast that I did, looking into a little bit deeper, found out that she was the mother of three who believe she was the mother of three. She was last seen in 1994 with a man she met at rehab, like I said, Napa, a little bit north of us here. Okay, so mom's 3 deep into kids, and you know what it's like when you have kids. You certainly, especially 3, your plate is full. And back in the 90s, for a single mom to have 3 kids, it is challenging times. So the daughter, Veronica Tovar, decided to contribute DNA samples. Daughter was removed from the home at the age of 3. And has only a handful of memories spent with mom. Understandably, she was 3. She quotes, and I quote, she says, and I quote her, "I've lived my whole life just knowing she was gone, and I just never knew why. I thought that she just left us. I felt left." Tovar doesn't know, though, why she and her other siblings were removed from her mother's care. She does know that Deza wanted her children to stay together, so the 3 of them were put in a home together, to understandably so. She loved her kids, even though she wasn't there with us. That feeling never left me. She did the best she could with that, she said. For me, I feel what the memories I have, it's almost like I just got lost. I didn't think, she didn't have any support. And so she ends up has her own career and everything herself now. She hears about this and decides to give the sample up of her DNA. And you can see that she scraped inside of her mouth hard as her cheeks were sore the next day, she recalled, and she waited to hear back from the police. She sat on pins and needles until she found out. And obviously, there was a match. But the biggest question is what happened? Where is she? How does a mom of 3 put themselves in this situation? Now, here's the local news report from this. So I want to play that.
Fox 40's Karma Dickerson explains how they learned who she was and what they want to do now with that information.
Amanda Lynn Schumann Deza. We now know the true name of the woman who for the last 27 years has been tragically referred to as the lady in the fridge. Cold case investigators made the announcement Thursday.
To give her name back, to give
Obviously,
her
a couple
story
years back.
And hopefully to find who killed her
2 kids
sometime
there.
in 1994.
And when I opened it up, it was a surprise that it was the girl laying in there.
That was the man who said he found Schumann, talking to Fox 40 back in 1995. He was part of our news coverage back then when the body was originally found in the refrigerator. He tells us he was a junk collector in the area of Bacon Island Road in Holt, which is in San Joaquin County. He says he came upon a refrigerator one day. It was in a ravine. He used his truck to pull it out, and Schumann's body was inside.
She was upside down, her mouth gagged, tape on her hands, but one was free.
Okay. Taped and bound inside this refrigerator. And look at this, straight old school refrigerator. Certainly different from what we have now, but taped and bound and had one hand free.
gagged, tape on her hands, but one was free. She was wearing a t-shirt, blue cuff Levi shorts, blue striped socks, and Gorilla brand hiking boots.
They had a blanket.
Everything about the 90s there. And so what was really surprising too, and I'll show you in another episode here, but what they found in her pockets was really surprising too.
Some stuff around her. Whoever did it, they pillows and stuff shoving her in there.
Shoved her in that
tight.
refrigerator with
Been out there for a
pillows.
while.
At the time, investigators speculated she might have been in the water as long as a year, but they said they had hoped to be identifying her soon. Years later, however, no ID and no arrest.
It's kind of hard to investigate who killed someone if you don't know who they are.
But with this latest effort to solve the murder, cold case investigators use what they call investigative genealogy.
A lot of that
Essentially,
new
comparing their
technology
evidence
that I
samples
was
to the
speaking
DNA
of, that-
samples members of the
look at that.
public sent to genealogy
Unbelievable
websites.
that something
Using that strategy,
could
they
fit
were able to
inside
find a DNA
there
match with
as
Schumann.
a body or
Investigators
somebody would
aren't
do that.
revealing many personal details about Schumann, except she was 30 when she died and had at least one child, and was
She
known to have
had
lived in the area of Napa, Oakley, and the Delta. However, no one had filed a missing persons report for her.
She was,
Oh, wait,
involved in some challenging-
wait. Get back to this.
And was known to have lived in the area of Napa, Oakley, and the Delta. However, no one had filed a missing persons report for her.
she was
Okay. So many questions. So many different no interaction. I mean, no missing persons report filed as well too. My God.
involved in some challenging times like we all have in our lives.
Yes, we
Though
do.
today's announcement answered a key question in the investigation, a major piece of the puzzle is still missing. Who killed Amanda Lynn Schumann Deza?
That
And
is
why?
Let us judge whether it's important
That
or not
is the
important.
million-dollar
Just if you
question
knew
right
her,
there. Who
reach out,
killed
talk to us,
Amanda?
and give us some information.
Which is, I know there has to be a trail. I know there is. This guy's out there. This guy's person. Anyways, so that's where we left out a little bit more detail for you. Hopefully this gets the fire spark somewhere, but that's what we're doing. It's reporting what we see in front of us and being able to hopefully branch out to rekindle something to make this wake back up and find whoever's responsible for this woman's tragic death. Anyways, everybody be good. Cheers. Deuces.